Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, welcome to this video. Today we are continuing to explore this fantastic freeware A340 300 version from Xworks. Just to remember, there is also a 200 version, but I'm not that interested for that in the moment. Maybe in the future we'll do a video or a stream in that version, because it was actually the very first version that Airbus produced and was operated by Lufthansa. So yeah, maybe in the future we'll do a video with the 200 version, maybe when they'll fix some bugs and the plane will be more mature. But yeah, today we're also running this aircraft with the Project K Sim A340 FMOD sound pack from Aviator B77 Whiskey or W, I don't know, but it's an FMOD which adds CFM engines as it should be on this aircraft. And so, well, it's a little bit different if you compare with the stream I did previously. So we are now at stand Kilo 76 in Paris Charles de Gaulle. I am offline for the moment because we have some ATC and, well, I want to be doing other things during the day other than just sit at the computer here, ATC and etc, etc. Ground services are from Simple Ground Services. They're not yet fully supported for this A340 again, but some of the animations kind of look okay, so I've just set them in. So we are expected to depart from runway 26 right. Initial climb is going to be flight level 100, and it's going to be an interesting flight across the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the very famous St. Martin Island, or St. Martin, yeah, St. Martin Island, because it's Princess Juliana International Airport. So this is I consider this an historical flight. Air France did this with the A340. I know that, well, the most popular would be the 747-400 for KLM from Amsterdam, but unfortunately I still cannot trust completely on the Sparky 747, although it looks and sounds very good. I find the autopilot not very well working, and I cannot deposit my confidence completely on it. But yeah, on the other part, this Laminar A330, now converted to A340, works pretty okay, so I think we could do this flight and it will be fairly successful. So yeah, paint is nice. We had two choices of paint for the Air France. This one, which I guess is the new paint, and the old one, which was taken from an aircraft that overran the runway in Toronto. You can find both liveries in the Explain forums. But yeah, I've chosen this one. This is the new one. I think it has a little bit more detail. It's just personal preference, honestly. And yes, today I will do one thing that I did differently from the previous video. I will be putting on the screen charts. Those charts are going to be from the Aeronautical Information publication, so they are open charts for navigation. That's sometimes, I mean, we use them for real-life navigation, and they mostly are open to the public because, well, you should be able to access any of that information if you want to do a flight. So in case you can't afford a Navigraph subscription or some Jeppesen charts or whatever, those charts can be a good alternative. They're not so pretty as the Jeppesen ones or the Lidl, but well, they do the job mostly, and I will be displaying them when we will be doing our briefing and so on. So yeah, that's the introduction for the flight. Let's go ahead and start up. The aircraft is in a cold and dark status. We are a little bit off schedule already for about an hour. The lighting is looking so beautiful now. We're flying real time, and we're going to do a little weather briefing as well to take a look at every aspect that we can encounter on our cruise, why we take this fuel, and so on. So yeah, enough talking, let's go ahead, let's go start, power up this aircraft, and let's go with the flight. Okay, coming inside, first things we want to check is that the speed brake lever is stowed, flaps is up, parking brake is set, engines are cut off. To thruster off, gear is down, and on the upper part the wipers are off because we can scratch the windows in case we power up the aircraft, and they will be switched on. One thing I don't know is how to check the battery voltages. I know it's with this switch, but it's not showing right here, so let's go ahead and just start with battery 1, battery 2. Check the voltages. Voltages look good. And let's switch all the buttons ahead. Go with nav and logo 1 and start from the left. So, you know what? Let me first just power up. So yeah, remember this is the FMOD sound for the A340. Let me just remove the GPU because it makes so much noise. And let's continue with the overhead flow. Basically, switch on everything. Alright, strobes on auto, this is all fine. Let's arm this is on bright, no smoking auto. Switch this all on, this goes all on as well. Fuel pumps are off for the moment, but we actually already refueled, so we can switch them on already and go with the seatbelt sign on as well because we have the fuel on board. Hydraulics all on. And now here, ventilation on. All the flight controls computers. Why is it on call? Okay, overhead is all good. This is all fine. I didn't forget anything. Let's go down here. Take a look. Weather radar is off. This is all good. This is all good. Let's clock standby 2000. Switch to all auto 1215, and let's set VADSIM 122.8 here for now. And now flight directors will be off for the moment. I already know we're gonna climb to 10,000 at the initial, so let's go ahead and set 10,000. Constraint mode, flight plan, and we're gonna start going with the box. In it, very sure the goal, 2 TNCM. What a long flight. This being a long haul flight, we need to look at our planning with a little different perspective. First of all, we're going to cross the Atlantic, and there are fewer possible alternates that we can use in case of a need to divert. The one that is usually most useful in this kind of route, the Azores Islands, today is not suitable due to the possible bad weather. Obviously, if something happens and the weather will be fine, we will still go there. But for awareness, we see that's probably not the case today. The significant weather chart displays zones of convective activity which are probably going to engulf the islands. Forecast says basically the same. After crossing the Azores, we should be greeted with clear skies. On the departure, nothing significant stands. We might get some turbulence and icing, but not more than moderate. The most serious one could be when crossing the jet stream. Yes, we later will catch and cross a jet stream, or should I say not catch, because it is going in the opposite direction of our flight. Anyways, this will increase our flight time. Simbrief already took care of that by adding more fuel. As for St. Maarten, the weather is okay for now. Some convective activity coming in from the east, but we will get there before it catches the island. Nevertheless, we can expect some kind of instability in the area. You see, the icon there with the name Tammy is a tropical cyclone, or as called in the Atlantic region, a hurricane. And if it has a name, which it does, it means the winds there are more than 33 knots. And 33 knots on landing can be challenging. For fun, as I'm editing this video on the day after the flight, I checked Simbrief for the charts, and this is the position of the cyclone after one day. Notice the height of the cumulonimbus in the area. The tops reach flight level 5 FREEWARE. That's incredibly high and dangerous. The METAR also stated some very kind wind for the airport. Gusts to 30 knots are expected, and the best one is the NOTAM that states that the airport is closed due to Hurricane Tammy. Finishing the analysis, let's move in with the flight. As you can probably see, I love meteorology, and it amazes me how much resources we have from SimBrief and other sources that directly link us to the real life. It gave me a huge advantage while going through ATPL meteorology. So don't joke too much on the sim. It does help a lot. Right, so I've completed the box. Everything is set. I've used the VAST toolbox to calculate the reference speeds, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but he gave me a V1 of 183, a rotate of 183, and a V2 of 190 with toga takeoff and flaps 3. So I am not so sure this is correct, but nevertheless, we're gonna ignore that for the moment, and I used a little bit lower speeds, but we'll use flaps 3 for fun. So just resetting here the QNH with the X-plane, because the X-plane one is the most correct. So 9079, so that's a very low pressure actually here. Seatbelt signs is already on. Let's go ahead with the APU, and let me just go and check the systems here real quick. Okay, APU started. Let's go ahead, turn APU bleed and external power off. And let's do a little briefing for you guys and for me. So, again, we're flying A340, flight AFR498. We have a few NOTAMs here at Paris, but it's mostly related to taxiway work. Some of the taxiways are closed. Should not affect us. So for the weather is looking good at the moment. Latest METAR was showing wind 220 and 10, good visibility, scattered 900, broken 1700, temperature 14, and QNH of 980 with no significant changes. So no significant weather, although we have some on the significant charge, so maybe we can expect some moderate turbulence, moderate icing inside of the clouds. So we'll take care of that. We're not going to be using any anti-ice. Weather radar on departure will be switched on. And we are on on stand Kilo 76. We'll push back facing south into Echo 6, then taxi to Romeo, turn left on Romeo and continue straight ahead to Romeo 1, holding point, runway 26 right, to which we're going to be using. Runway is dry at the moment, wind as we said 22010, we'll take off with toga because, well, Vast told us, and why not, with flaps 3, and we are departing via the Lima Golf Lima 5 Echo departure, as you can see on the page on the aeronautical information publication of France. It is effective, and our initial climb is going to be 10,000. Pretty easy departure, straight ahead, Papa Golf 286. Correction, actually, Papa Golf 264, then Papa Golf 286, Lesga, and finally Lima Golf Lima VOR. We're not going to configure any radio navs. In case we need to return, we might dump fuel and, yeah, just return to the same runway. No special considerations, and for the abnormals, just save time. We're going to do all the same, so below 100 knots we stop for any malfunction. Between 100 knots and V1, only for significant malfunction. And from V1, we continue with the takeoff, and we climb straight ahead, assess the situation, and return. And then, depending on the situation, we might select to go with an overweight landing. No other considerations, no lost comms, all good. Let's go ahead and do the before start checklist to the line. So cockpit preparation was completed, gear pins and covers are removed, signs are on and auto, ADIRS, let's go here onto data, IRS monitor all on nav, fuel quantity 73 tons on board and balanced as we just checked before, always check that they are balanced. And takeoff data is set, where reference 979 is set on 1, 2 and 3. And that was to the line. Let's continue below the line. Windows and doors are closed, not armed, but we'll assume they are. A beacon coming on. Mobile phone is off, thrust levers are on idle, and parking brake is set. Perfect. Alright, starting 3 and 4. Lock on. That was a good start as well. 47 seconds on the starter after start procedure. Let's go APU off. This comes on. This goes to on, this goes to normal. Flaps 1, 2, and 3.
Door is disconnected and bypass pin has
set
been
to 0.
removed. Hand signal to the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much. There we go, hand signal received. Let's go flight controls. Pull up. Pull down, neutral. Full left. Full right, neutral. Rather, full left. Full right, neutral. Perfect. After start checklist, NTI is not required. ECAM status checked. Pitch stream, we're gonna leave it as is. And rudder trim is at 0. So after start is complete. Taxi light, runway turn off, light on. Brakes are released. Let's give it a push and test the brakes. While we have this long straight, let's go ahead to the before takeoff to the line. So flight controls checked, flight instruments checked, briefing confirmed. We did the briefing. If you have questions, go ahead and add them in the comments. Flap settings config 3, which coincides with the switch position. FMOD takeoff data is all set when you have climb and nav orange blue. Transponder, we have 2000 set on auto, and is it? Yes, it is. And ECAM memo. Oops, what do we have wrong? Slots not in the takeoff position. What do you mean? Oh, let's try this. Haha, okay, so we can't take off with flaps 3 for some reason, it doesn't let us. Alright, we're gonna go with flaps 2 then, no big deal, I hope. And yeah, that's the before takeoff to the line. Dink the cabin. Strobes on. We cleared the lineup and clear takeoff. Weather radar coming on. Lights coming on. Final is clear. Left is clear. Right is clear. Good. Before takeoff wheel align. Cabin secure. Engine mode selector is normal. TCAS, TARA and packs are on. Before takeoff checklist is complete. We are all ready. Well, we have 8 hours of flight to go. Clock on. Let's go, guys. Enjoy. Everybody have a good flight. 50%. Come on, please go to 50. That's stabilized. Mantoga, SRS, runway track. Outer thrust is blue. Thrust is set. Air airspeed is alive on both sides. Knots. V1. Rotate. Nice and slow. Positive climb. Gear up. And nav. So this is a straight departure, autopilot on. Spoiler is disarmed. Runway and taxi lights on. Alright, perfect. Flaps are up. After takeoff checklist, landing gear is up. Flaps are retracted. Packs are on. Barrow. I'm gonna maintain the barrow for now. Past 5,000 feet. Barrow standard set. 1, 2, and 3. And that means after takeoff checklist is complete. On the climb out, we got the light chop we were expecting. Fortunately, we didn't cross that many clouds and icing was not a problem. Quite a nice cloud-layered climb out to the first cruising level of 330. Eventually, the clouds got denser and we lost sight of the ground, having it open again already over the Atlantic. Now our view for a long time will be only of a lot of water. Soon enough, the jet stream started to give us hints of its presence. An increasing headwind and an unstable flow of air that unfortunately made this default autopilot bounce left and right for a very long time, trying to maintain course. Let's for a moment put our attention to this aircraft. The A340-300 made its first flight at 25th of October of 1991, and the first customers were Lufthansa, as I've said before, and also Air France. This very aircraft we're flying with the registration of Foxtrot Golf November India was delivered to Air France at the 6th of April of 2001, making it 22 years old now. It was transferred to the Spanish airline Plus Ultra in 2017 and it's still flying under a different registration now. If you search for the French registration online, you'll find plenty of images of this aircraft in St. Maarten. Awesome, isn't it? I bet maybe even some of you did this flight in real life. What an awesome experience that would be. Further ahead, when passing through Azores, as we expected, we overflew some thunderstorms. It would be actually very beautiful during the night as I find the light flash effect very realistic, but not the lightning itself. Later, after all of that, we got clear of the weather and clear skies were all around. Wind decreased and even changed to tailwind for a while. This would continue until about 500 miles to destination, where we started to see some minor convective activity, creating cumulus clouds, which eventually grew full big. In the process, we stepped climb to flight level 350 and then finally to flight level 390. Alright, and it's been 8 hours in sim time because, yes, I accelerated a little bit the simulation speed because I have a class to attend, so I had to do it even though I wanted to complete the real 8 hours flight. Unfortunately, I was not able to. Nevertheless, everything is going good. The status of the aircraft is great. We are now at flight level 390 and with around 180 miles to go to top of descent. So I think it's time to start preparing. At this time I already have the arrival selected. I did so in Paris because I thought the weather is not going to be changing, and I just checked now. The weather is actually the same. I mean, it's not the same, but it plans for the same runway. So we have 080 degrees, wind with 13 knots, variable from 060 to 130 degrees. Visibility is good. We have showers in the vicinity. If you noticed, we have that weather system, that tropical cyclone moving in, and I thought of doing this flight tomorrow, and probably tomorrow, I mean, I don't know, but maybe it wouldn't be possible because the islands that are located to the east, they have real bad weather now. I'll just put some METAR for you to see. We have broken clouds, 1600 with towering cumulus. Temperature is 30, so it's pretty hot. Should be a little turbulent. QNH 1013, and we had recent rains, so the runway could be a little bit wet or damp, so we should take special attention to that. Although, you know, the auto brake on this aircraft works so strongly, and as somebody said in the previous stream, I think it's related to the wheel friction. It's way too high on this model, so we're going to be using auto brake low anyways, with reverses, and probably we're going to be more than fine on the landing. If not, I'm going to just go ahead and manual braking. But yeah, I think it's time for the arrival briefing. So let's start from the beginning. The status of the aircraft is good. We have no faults, no nothing, and I've managed to fix this call flashing button. I pressed reset here and it fixed it. The weather is looking good, although we might encounter some showers and some towering cumulus, so we will be careful with that. But other than that, it looks good. No tabs are checked. West apron closed, that's the basically only thing. And runway wind direction unavailable for runway 28. We're not going to be landing from that side, so that's all good. Anti-ice are not going to be required unless we're going to encounter some real crazy stuff, and the aircraft asks specifically for anti-ice. I want to switch on the terrain radar just so I can see better the terrain ahead of us because of the mountain, and just to have a little bit more of a visual clue. So I'm going to leave the terrain radar on for now, and as we are during the daytime, we can navigate around any cells if there will be any. The top of descent is in around 140 miles. We are arriving via the RNAV GNSS runway 10 into Princess Juliana International. This is page Aerodrome 2. It's an instrument approach chart. Aerodrome elevation is 14 feet. Transition level is flight level 65. Transition altitude 5000 in case we go missed and we need to climb above transition altitude. Always good to take a look. We have some frequencies there, nothing significant. We proceed from Manolo to the Otmat, and then to Abaki at 2600, if I can see this right. From Abaki we turn left into the final course of 095 degrees off to Lesor, and from Lesor we start the 3 degrees path down to Mapon. If we can't see the runway after Mapon, we go around, we turn right, direct to Unbed, which is at 21.6 miles, and we hold it at Unbed, sorry. Our minimums is 700 feet, and our descent rate approximately is going to be around minus 800. So the go-around altitude is going to be 4,000 feet for the initial. Our radio navs, we don't have any. This is GPS approach. We're going to land with flaps full auto brake medium, we're gonna use the reverse, and we will obviously backtrack because there is no other way basically. And we will backtrack, vacate on Charlie, and take any of the gates from the Alpha apron. That's gonna be basically it. As for the special considerations, well, in case we continue with the approach past the missed approach point and we need to go around later, we have to take special attention to not go into terrain because of the mountain that's just ahead of the airfield, as you know. That's why this airport is very famous for, and as well for the beach, obviously. That's basically the only special consideration I have at the moment. As for the abnormals, we have nothing to go on. We are below maximum landing weight, and we have plenty of fuel, 26 tons to go now, so we should land with about 25, no, actually maybe 24 tons, closer to that, I would say. At least I'll try to save as much fuel as I can onto the descent. Okay, so briefing is complete. We took a look at the charts. We know what to expect there. The weather looks promising. Honestly, I'm just happy that the aircraft is flying steady at the moment, because when we were crossing that jet stream and crossing all those thunderstorms and all that frontal activity, which I think it was, well, it was not very comfortable to see the aircraft rolling left to right every time, because the winds were changing. And so yeah, I hope either the guys from X-Plane fix the weather, because I think this is more weather related, because they have so much sudden changes of the wind that the aircraft has to always constantly compensate to one side to the other again. And so yeah, this is just default autopilot. This is fine, actually. I don't mind this. And yes, so 100 miles to go to top of descent, flight level 390. We're gonna start first the descent to 2600. Actually, we can go direct to that altitude. Ten miles to go to top of descent. Let's go ahead and switch the spot signs on. We are approaching 10,000, so let's go with vertical speed now, because it doesn't want to descend. Speed is going down to 50 selected, lights are on. No need for LS push buttons. 1011 is set on all three sides, and we're going to do the approach checklist. So the briefing is done, is confirmed. Do you have any questions? Post those in the comments. Ecam status is checked. It's all good. Seatbelts are on. It's actually even here. Barrel reference 1011 is set 1, 2, and 3 times. MDA is 700 feet is set, and engine mode selector is on normal. So pro checklist is complete. So we have 10 miles to Otmot. Let's actually start to slow down, because we will have like 6 miles and then 5 miles to the descent. There we go, extend speed brake, that's what he's telling us. I'm gonna go straight to 200 knots for start, let it go to idle, and let's see how will it do. Badly. So let's extend the speed brake, help it a little bit. It's all good. Let's go extend flaps 1. Spoilers retracted. We're doing good. Avaki straight ahead, there is Lessor. Turning inbound. And speed check flaps 2. Cabin crew, take your seats. And let's go and hit approach speed. I feel like we are way too high, but it should be fine with the approach. Let's see what it does. Oh, now he's going for the profile. Flaps 3. Flaps 3 set. Let's go ahead, gear down, spoilers aren't, flaps full, lights are on.
2000.
2000, we just passed Lesso, we are 200 feet above. Let's go and catch that profile. 200 feet is not that much. There we go. 1700. Now let's go for those minus 800. And let me do this, let me do this, this, and set 4000. Now I can concentrate on landing and landing checklist. Yeah, that wind is not helping. Cabin crew is secured for landing. Okay, I don't want to go below. Auto thrust is on speed. Go around altitude 4000 feet is set. Nika memo. Well, it's not on landing because we have the bloody autopilot there. And landing checklist is complete. Let's focus now on landing. These speed variations, as you can hear by the engines, are not helping very much. Checked 1000 feet. We are completely stable. Stable. Gear down. I think I see 2 reds and 2 whites, and as you can see the wind is coming, is quite the variable one. Yeah, there we go, we need to maintain this minus 700 feet. And we passed the missed approach point, 700 feet. We continue, now the decision is landing. Reds to whites.
500.
Check. I might want to go just a little bit lower. Just a little bit, not too much.
400.
Let's just continue for now.
$300. 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard 10, 5.
That's a touchdown, and that's reverse. Spoilers, reverse green, decel. And there you go, as I told you guys, look at the speed, it's all gone, and reverse is out. Manual braking. Now you can slow down just a little bit, start turning. Okay, parked. Parking brake is set, taxi light off, APU is running, that we have, and shutting down the engines. Perfect. Fuel pumps coming off. Seatbelt sign coming off. And beacon light off. Perfect. Parking checklist. APU blade is on. This is for A320, so the yellow electric pump, we're gonna leave that off. Engines are off, seatbelt sign off, exterior lights are off, only strobe the nav for auto, fuel pumps off, parking brake Chocks are set. Mobile phone on. Transponder is on standby 2000. Radar protected windshield is off. Okay, we can open the door and let the passenger disembark. We cannot toggle the jetway. That's annoying. Anyways. And so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quite long flight from Paris-Charles de Gaulle to St. Martin on this X-Works A340 mod with the FREEWARE pack, FMOD sound for the correct CFM engines. Very nice aircraft and very nice flight. It was fun to do. Different type of preparation, different type of weights of fuel, and all of that. If you haven't considered to do a long haul, definitely try it out. I like to do sometimes, honestly quite rarely, but I like to do it anyways, and it's been good. It was a nice landing here at St. Martin, quite windy, quite challenging, but fun. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week. I'm gonna be probably streaming. Not sure what to do yet, so if you have any suggestion, leave it down in the comments. And as for always, guys, wishing you a great weekend and all of the best. Bye.